accomplishment. And I'm going to announce the graduates. Feel free to clap for your particular son or daughter as they come down the aisle here, okay? Our guest speakers here. All right, cue music, please. All right, our first graduate is Dane Shaney. Unable to attend. Our next grad is Alexa Russo. Alexa spends her days in Sioux City, Iowa, so she's very quite native. Next up, Benjamin Rodriguez. Graduate TJ Oram. Next is Sean King. Hugo Watley. Next is Courtney Fish. Next is Jacqueline Velez. I'd also like to introduce our staff. Here we go. I have to see everybody. Normally they're closer to me. There's something going on today. Our campus director, Mr. Enron Eli. We've got our director of admissions, Nicole Calcagno. Right behind me is Sarah McWilliams. Part of our admissions group. We've got our Director of Education, Kim Catorta. And our all-round utility person that does pretty much a little of everything for everyone, Krista Garson. And I am Carl Jackson. I'm the Director of Career Services here at the campus. Projectile. I just have to click it open and we're all good. Okay, it's now my pleasure to introduce to you our campus director, Mr. Imran Ali.
I'm hoping you guys are going to settle in because I am very long-winded. I will stay up here as long as I need to. So this is a very special class for me because this is actually my first graduating class as a campus director at the Walmart campus. So I'm very excited for you guys. I'm very excited to be a part of this with you guys. You know, what you've accomplished in the short time that I've been here, what I've been able to see is just the passion that you guys have for what it is that you do on a day-to-day basis. And I think in life, a lot of times, what we lose as we get older is that passion for the things that we dream about as kids, the things that we want to accomplish as we grow up. And so for me being here, it's rejuvenated me in the last 3 or 4 weeks that I've been here. I've been in education for 13 years, And sometimes you kind of feel like people aren't listening, and you feel like students have forgotten the reason why they come to class every day. And to see each one of you on a day-to-day basis over the last couple weeks be as passionate as you are about what you're doing and what you're going to continue to do is very exciting for me. It gets me up in the morning and excited to be here on a day-to-day basis as well. So I owe you a huge thank you as well for kind of bringing that life back for me and being here every day. What I want to remind you as you sit here today is this is a stop in your journey. This is the beginning for a lot of you and the great things that we're looking forward to you accomplishing over the next many years in this industry. You are leaving here as different people in the last 9 or 12 months that you've been here. But you will always be a part of this family. We expect to see you on campus often. Hopefully we'll have all of you back as guest speakers for our future classes that are coming in, because you're going to set the example of what it is that they need to do as they move forward as well. So I'm looking forward to seeing you continue to grow in your careers now. And please do utilize us, for the things that you need as you move forward. For the families that are here, it's very important that we take some time to thank you for what you've done over the last few months, whether it was financial support, whether it was a kick in the butt to get somebody up in the morning to come to class, whether it was a ride that you gave them, or just helping them out and giving an encouraging word. You play a huge role in what happens in these classrooms. And you may not be here, but the support that you bring to the table on a day-to-day basis is huge for our graduates. So I want to give you guys a round of applause as well. So, again, congratulations for your accomplishments. We're excited for you. With that, I'm actually going to introduce the shoes that I am having to fill here. Mr. Bill Natale to introduce our commencement speaker.
Hi, everybody. It's a pleasure to see family come out and support the graduates. I'm familiar with many of the graduates because since last December, I served as the interim campus director until Ron took over. And I serve as the regional executive director for public affairs for all 7 of our campuses. We have campuses in Chicago, Lombard, Cincinnati, Cleveland, Columbus, Miami, and Denver. I have about 40 years of experience in the broadcasting business. I thoroughly enjoyed this business. It's been a great business to be in. I'm going to be retiring at the end of August. But that doesn't mean I'm going to retire for life. I'm just going to be retiring from broadcasting. I had the pleasure to meet the commencement speaker, Eli Clark, many years ago when we worked on the Jerry Springer Show. We were one of the 4 original camera operators that were chosen for that show. Eventually had 6 camera operators. And then we wound up working on Steve Wilko's show, and then Eli and I worked on just a number of other things too. We were on freelance gigs, and sometimes he worked with me on productions. Just a pleasure and a joy to work with Eli, not only because he's a pro's pro. I mean, truly a truly gifted, producer, camera operator, production person. Period. His credits are immense. That's all I can say. Everything from working on the White House, the PBS performances, and currently doing that, has been doing that for some time. Midnight at the Apollo shows, Dave Chappelle series, Chris Rock. I mean, I could go on and on. I think you get the picture. So he's worked on a lot of national programming. He's worked on local programming as well, and continues to work on things locally, like Windy City Live and things like that. So without any more or further explanation, I just want to bring up my good friend and colleague, Eli Clark.
So somebody give Bill some money for all of that? I'm tired of paying him to say nice things. First of all, I'm not here to talk about me. Bill put it in a little nutshell. I do a lot of stuff. And I've been in this business about 40 years like Bill. And he's right, I do the performance at the White House series. I did Mark Twain Prize every at the Kennedy Center. I'm going out to do a Kevin Hart special in Philadelphia. The stadium, he's doing an outdoor, doing a football stadium, Stephen Falls. And I'm going back there for something else with Beyonce, and I do all this kind of stuff. And my focus is primarily entertainment, comedy, concerts. That really is my strength, that's my love. And that's a little bit what we're going to talk about today. But first, I want to congratulate you all. I want to congratulate the families and the parents because, you know, it's good to have that push and support. And I just want to tell you, you're entering a really, really interesting and exciting business at a very interesting time because the business has changed over the years as the economy has changed and the work situation has changed. So you're all going to be assumed, the best assumption to make is that you will all be working for yourselves. If you go out looking for that 9-to-5 job, it's going to be a little tougher, all right? So you have to think like an entrepreneur, okay? You have to figure out, create some content, create something, learn to sell yourselves. This is a big part of it. And the challenge, that's the challenge, that's the biggest challenge. You all have come out of here, you have skills, you have talent. There are going to be a lot of people out there with similar skills and talent. You also be a little bit better because you got it in a good, really, really good place in a school that's very pragmatic and functions well. So again, and I know this is a lot of work going through this education, but you all will be fine because you have a good base now, a good solid base now. Know that your strength in this business is going to be your friends. It's going to be your network. This is absolutely a business. Okay, so be nice to have. What was it? Ralph Graham just said, "Be nice to people you meet on the way up. You're going to see the same people on the way down." Okay, and you will have those ups and downs just like you do in life. So treat everybody with respect and courtesy. Okay, and be sharp. Now, this is what I really want to. Oh, the other thing I'm glad to see is that this is such a diverse group of people, women, people of color. That's really, really important because this business traditionally has been the white male bastion, okay? And it's been hard for women, hard for people of color. And if you weren't family, it didn't matter if you were a white guy, you might not get in the business. So we need people like all of you to come in this business and really keep that awareness and pull other people in like yourselves, other women, other people of color, because you know what, it's a very diverse world. Okay? In order to function, for us to function as a society, we have to function together. Okay, that's why we're social creatures, right? We can't do it all by ourselves. What else did I want to tell you today? You are going to be, the most important thing I can tell you, honestly, aside from be aware, when you go out in this business, read the news, read magazines, pay attention because it is a social business. When you go out and you're on that shoot and you're one of, you might start as a PA like most of us started, or doing whatever, and you sit at lunch, and the director's sitting over here, the producer's sitting over here, and somebody makes a comment about something going on in Bosnia or in Macedonia, you should really help if you have something good to say about that. If you're aware of these things going on outside of your immediate environment, because people remember those who make intelligent or witty, clever comments that have something to contribute to the production other than that technical skill or creative skill that they bring to it. Okay, because you have to establish yourself. So don't be afraid to be yourself, but be that positive self and keep the negative one down. And we all have a negative side at times. It's just life. The most important thing I can tell you is be aware that you, many of you, are going to be decision makers in this business. And we live in the most intense capitalist society on the planet. All right, our business is to export. America's business is to export everything. That's why Americans don't speak too many languages, and we don't know too much about other people's music and other people's cultures, because we're so busy trying to sell everybody else something, we don't even want to take anything else in. That's the nature, that's the structure of this society. So, as decision makers, you have to be aware that the decisions you make are going to influence people. Right? So when you're making the decisions, you have to be aware that a decision you make today about how to present something or how to put a slant on something is going to influence people. So the greatest asset you will have in the way you're going to be able to sleep at night is to have a sense of morality about how you conduct your business and how you conduct your life. Here's a very good example. My friend Celeste Rufo, who's no longer with us, phenomenal camera operator, was working on an MTV show one time, studio show. And some brilliant, I say brilliant sarcastically, idiotic producer, young producer at MTV, thought he had a great idea. If behind the set there was a video screen, a little commentator that just kind of swish, swish, swish. And Celeste, being highly intelligent, very aware, said, they are trying to hypnotize people into staring at that screen. And it's exactly what they want, okay? Like a subliminal technique, and a not so subtle subliminal technique, not like the little naked lady in the ice cube they used to tell us about, right, Bill? If you ever read that book, subliminal suggestion, okay? And she said, no, I'm not going to do that. As she talked to other people in the crew, and they all got together and said, you know what, we're not going to do that. This is subversive. And it's just mind-numbing. And MTV management came out and talked with them, and they took it away. All right? So, and they weren't even at a level of decision maker, but they were at a level to shut down production. Okay? So bear in mind that you don't want to sell your soul in this business, and it's very, very easy to do it. Bill and I know people that have done it. Okay, this is the most important thing you have, is who you are, all right? So you have to be a good person in this world, and that's really what it's about. So when you're reaching the media, and you hit the button, you're the DJ, you're on the radio, well, you can go out and you can be somebody who's going to talk a whole bunch of other negative stuff, or you can try and be more positive and be more open-minded, okay, and be more welcoming to other people's ideas, you know? So this is the most important thing, is where people fail. I have one friend who went, huge producer in New York, I worked with him for years. Alan went off somewhere. We hadn't seen him for years. He came back to the production and then took off and tried to beat everybody. We wound up having to sue him. Took 4 years. Right? He owed millions of dollars because he didn't care anymore about morality. Okay? And so who knows what world he's in now. He's in his own personal hell. And I don't want any of you to be that. Okay? So let that good person always be there. There's a very good reason why I never bought a camera, which I might have told Bill. I never bought a camera, being from New York. One, because there were a billion cameras out there, and I could borrow one from somebody if I need one, and have to rent one. But the other thing was, when you buy that camera, what do you have to do? You have to pay for it, and paying for that, by the time you buy your single camera package, you're close to $200,000. You got to pay that note, right? So what do? You go out and you do any kind of work to pay the note. Okay, that's not a good thing. Okay, you want to be able to pick and choose the things that you really like to do. And you don't want to be a slave to that note, to that bill, to money. Okay, the money will come as long as you love what you do. If you're enjoying what you're doing. If you're in a job that you're not liking, stay there as long as you have to go find one that you like. Okay, someplace else. If you're working for people that you find don't sit with you correctly, morally, go someplace else. Okay? But that is the most important thing. And people recognize that. The good people in this world recognize that. Okay, so I'm not going to sit here and lecture you a lot about TV. This is business. Okay, it's a business. And realize also that the content that we shoot, unless, like the 2 years I spent on Sesame Street or a couple other purely altruistic projects, everything you see on TV exists to keep people glued to the screen until the next commercial comes on. Okay, everything they do on radio exists to keep people listening until the next commercial comes on, because it's a capitalist society and the idea is to sell product. That's how the business makes money. Okay, so I consciously chose to stop shooting commercials. Years ago, my sister, big commercial producer, she just got out of the business. She spent years producing as an executive producer on Ford and Lincoln Spice Trucking all over the world. She was former vice president of Def Jam in its heyday. They went to CBS as a record company vice president. We did all that stuff. But you know what? We were sitting there one day doing a Tilex commercial. And I'm sitting on the dolly, and we had two, I'm going to be very adults and be very frank, we had two art directors, which I ain't going to tell you there's two art directors on the shoot leave, because, you know, because that's one too many, all right? And then it was the 80s, and everybody, and cocaine was flowing like snow. And these guys got high, and they went off the storyboard. You all know what a storyboard is. They went off the storyboard for 2.5 hours. Now, I was perfectly happy to sit in that dial. You know, in a commercial, there's producer, director, camera operator. And if I'm the DP, that's it. I'm like a god. I can sit in this dial all day. You know, these little cute little PAs, they're talking to these teams, to fucking be a snack, to catering. You know, I'm fine. I just make all the money all day. You want to go overtime? It's fine. But what were these guys arguing about? The drugs that got to their head? And they were discussing 2 drops of glycerin on the wall in a shower set. And that discussion took a couple hours. And I'm like, you know what? Everybody in the industrialized world, there's some penguins in Antarctica, but no, this tile exists. And those 2 drops of glycerin on the wall aren't going to make a difference if this product sells or not. And I said, you know what? This is foolishness, because what are we trying to do? What are you trying to do in a commercial? Who's sitting home watching that Pilot's commercial? Might be that single mom with 3 kids who doesn't have the option to get out of the house and have the house sit and go to the gym. And what are they trying to do? They're trying to get the money out of her pocket and put it in some fat cat's pocket way over here, sitting at the top of the building, who doesn't need any more money. And I said, this is immoral. I said, so if I'm going to do this, if I'm going to be in this biz, then I'm going to shoot things that at least, if it's got to sell commercials, at least people get some pleasure out of. Music, comedy, things like that. Things I know, yes, it's going to be a commercial eventually, but people will have gotten some enrichment from it. You know, some spiritual enrichment from it. Maybe get a good laugh, hear a song, you know, something like that. So, I'm not going to talk anymore. If you guys have questions about what I do, we can talk later and do whatever. But this is what I want to say. The most important thing is don't lose your soul to money. There's lots of money to be made in this business, but there are people that make it in absolutely unscrupulous ways. I just had a producer feed me for it. $100. It's $100. It's paying what you owe, you know. But you know, it's $100 more than me. You know, at the end, you know, and it's not really a beat. I call and say, Danny, you know, forget about it. It's cool. You know, I've known the guy for years, whatever. But you don't want to be that guy. You know, you want to be liked. And when at the end, when you get down the road, you want, because this is a who you know business. You want people to say, hey, I'm gonna hire John because he's really great. Does a great job. He's a great guy. I like his energy. I like what he does. He treats people nice. You know, they're not gonna hire people that act like jerks. Okay, so don't be a jerk, and you'll sleep better. And everybody else will love working with you. Good luck.
All right, thank you very much, Eli. Now we're going to have a little bit of fun. We're going to do some recognition of our own with our graduates. So to help me do this, we're going to have our Education Director, Kim Tortel, to join us. Kim?
Thank you, Carl. It's always fun when we come to this part of the ceremony because this is where we recognize some of our outstanding students. And I know that not everyone in the class is in attendance tonight, but we didn't stop that from also including them in the awards process. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with the July Nights class, and we're going to go down and I'm going to give out the awards. And if your name is called, I want you to come on up and accept your award. And then we'll ask you to say a couple words, okay? If you want to. And I don't think any of you are going to be shy about that. Every student who graduates from this program is required to put in a minimum of an additional 308 lab hours outside of class time. And they accomplish that by going to their internships, which they're also required to have. Sorry, I thought somebody called my name. So they earn those hours by going to internships that they themselves are out there getting their first experience at getting a job in broadcasting. So they get them through that. They also get it through coming to school and working in the studios and practicing their lesson plans and the things that they've learned here. They get involved in extracurricular activities. They come to guest speakers. They go on field trips. They get involved with our radio stations, go out on live remotes. Just really get into the studio, at the radio studios, and have shows and things like that. A whole variety of broadcast-related activities. And of course, we all know that that extra 308 hours is a huge commitment. So when a student exceeds the 308 hours, we always like to recognize them. And Some of the students may have been able to figure this one out because we do let them know on an ongoing basis how many hours they all get, but the Outstanding Studio Hours Award for this July 9th class goes to a young man who garnered 445 and a half studio hours. Ben Rodriguez, come on up, Ben.
Yeah, I just want to thank whoever gave me this award. I appreciate it. I guess I did earn it. I was here a long time, but it's fun to be here. So if you guys know anybody that wants to come here, tell them this is a place to be. We're here having a good time, and we're all going to make a future out of it. So I want to thank the staff and all my classmates too, because I wouldn't want to come back here if they weren't all so great. So thank you.
Thanks for that great endorsement, Ben. And really seriously, Nicole or Sarah are the people to see if anybody knows anyone. The next award that we give is for Outstanding Intern. And this time, we normally give it to one student who's an outstanding intern, but this time we had 2 students in this class who actually did an outstanding job at their internships. Hold on. The first person that I'd like to give this award to is a young man who was able to get himself an internship at a local radio station and just take it and run with it. We heard great things about him on his internship evaluation. He came in all the time telling us what a great time he was having. He loved it, they loved him, and I'd like to congratulate our first Best Intern Award winner from July 9th, TJ Orem. There you go. Congratulations. All right.
I'm not much of a speaker, but I would like to thank the staff for giving me the confidence and the know-how to pursue my dreams, because I sacrificed a lot. I used to drive trucks locally, and that wasn't the path I wanted to go. And everybody from Keys, just the whole staff in jail who gave me the confidence just to reach this moment. So I thank everybody, and plus them 3 over there, of course.
Okay, so just so I can explain who Pete is, it's Pete Ferrari, our radio station director, program director, and Terrell, I'll pass on your good words to him so he knows. All right, the second winner of the award is a young lady who unfortunately was not able to attend tonight's ceremony, but we do have some representatives from her family here, and I'm going to ask one of them to come on up. The winner is a young lady who worked at Hoffman Estates TV and was actually offered a job there after her internship ended, but at the same time was also offered a job at the ABC affiliate in Sioux City, Iowa, as a producer of their 10 p.m. news, which is an incredible job for a person graduating from this school to have first out of the gate. So that says a lot about her commitment, not only to her internship, but also to her craft. And I did talk to her earlier today. She wanted me to pass along to all of you all her best wishes, and she is sorry that she wasn't able to be here. But I'd like to congratulate Ms. Alexa Russo. Come on up, someone from the family, please. Nice to meet you. Here you go. She's going to be thrilled, I know. She's always... I'm very nervous. Oh my gosh.
Absolutely. I'm Alexa's mom. My name is Karen Russo, and she had an absolute fabulous time attending school here. She was thoroughly, enamored with the students and the staff, and she is having the absolute best time in Sioux City, Iowa, producing the 6 and 10 o'clock news. A dream come true for her. So thank you so much.
Stand corrected, it's the 6 and the 10 o'clock news, so that's even more impressive. Thank you. Then we have a couple of awards. We have a couple of awards that we give out that are really super special because the students themselves vote on these awards. And it's always tough because we ask them to vote on who they think should be the outstanding broadcasting student from their class. And for the July Nights class, we actually have 2 winners, and it was a tie. So I'd like to congratulate first someone who some of the comments they made were he helped out other students and he was a hard worker. And that is something that we hear all the time from fellow students, and that really is a testament to the extra time and effort that they put into their role as a student and being a student leader in the class. So I'd like to congratulate Mr. Ben Rodriguez.
I don't. Plenty more to come in the future.
Okay, and then the next winner is a young lady who who was noted that she was a hard worker, and that she also was someone who knew what she needed to do, and she just went out and did it. And boy, Karen, you're going to get a lot of work out here tonight because the winner is Alexa Russo.
Oh my God.
Congratulations. Congratulations to all the July Nights class winners. You're all winners in our book, though, so. That's right, let's go and clap. Okay, now we're going to move on to the August Days class, and you see they're represented here by 3 students today. I know that the first award we're going to give out in this class is for the outstanding most studio hours and lab hours. And this was a class where they all earned more than their minimum that they needed to earn in order to graduate. And I don't even know if they realize who the winner is because we just finished tallying that all up after their class ended because people were still turning in their hours up until the very end. And you all did a great job. Every single one of them worked really hard outside of class. But the person who wound up with the most hours, with 347 hours, is Miss Jackie Velez.
Hello, I just want to say thank you, not only my classmates, my family, but also the staff. And thanks for the support, because as a bilingual student, it's sometimes hard to get up and do stuff. And I think that support thanks to everyone to push me to do more stuff, not only in English, but also in Spanish. And that's been opening a lot of opportunities for me. So I want to say thank you all, and that's all I guess. Excuse me, I can't say thanks.
Congratulations again. Okay, then we're going to move on to the outstanding intern. And this was also a really tough call because every single one of them did a really great job at their internships. But in the end, there was one student who really seemed to stand out a little more than everyone else. And it's a young lady who worked very hard. She was here. She made a connection with one of our teachers at the time, which was to show you that the broadcasting professionals who teach here really do want to help our students, not only to get internships, but jobs and all that as well. And she connected with him, Jason Cage from B96, and he helped her get an internship there, which she did. She took it and she ran with it. And I know that Jason absolutely spoke very highly of her all the time. She doesn't even know that because she wasn't always here when he was here, but I'd like to congratulate Miss Courtney Fish. Come on up.
Well, I just wanted to thank everybody for coming out tonight, and you know, it's hard to make connections with people you don't know right away because you might not want to step up to the plate and do it, but I mean, once you do it, totally it's worth it. And I took it, I ran with it like she said, and I mean, I learned so much stuff there. I think I learned pretty much more there than I probably could have ever learned with any other internship, and it was the best experience I could have ever had. So, thank you.
Okay, so the last award today is going to be for the August Days Outstanding Broadcasting Student. And this one was, it was close, not quite a tie, but what we have here is a young lady who her fellow students said was always on time, turned everything in, and worked extremely hard to accomplish her goals. So I know it's kind of tight, it's a tight race, neither one of you know who it is, but I'd like to congratulate Courtney Fish. And that's all the awards we have today. I would just like to add my heartfelt congratulations to you guys and remind you, do not be a stranger around here. Carl Jackson is going to be your new best friend, our Career Services Director. If you change any of your information, you've got to let Carl know so he can stay in touch with you and keep you informed of all kinds of job openings and such. So please make sure that you stay in touch with Carl, and you're welcome back at campus anytime. We'd love to see your bright, shiny faces here. Some of you might have graduate shows on the radio. If you're interested in that and you don't have one now, please come and talk to Pete Ferrari. We'd love to have you around as much as possible. Okay? Congratulations. Carl.
Hi, guys. You probably heard me say this a number of times with you guys, but I mean, as Kim said, you know, stay in touch. Stay involved in the school. If you're bored someday, come on in here and work on your craft. I mean, that's kind of what it's all been about, is getting better at what you do. So when you ultimately get that opportunity, you're not going to quiver and curl up in a little corner. I mean, you're going to be ready for it, you're going to attack it, and you're going to be successful doing it. Think positive, always be looking towards your career. As we talked about in class, I mean, you've got to allocate time for your career. And whether that's Sunday mornings, whether that's Friday evenings, whatever that day is and whatever that time is, make it a consistent thing. You can't sit around and wait for something to drop in your lap. My joke is, you know, unless your dad owns the station, you're going to have to go out there and actually attack this with everything you have. You've got the skills, you've got the tools, you've got the talent. You all have been recognized in various ways. You've all, some of you are even working already in the business, which is great. But always look at that first job as just that, the first job. You can't get into the party until you finally get that invitation. So when you get that invitation, you've got to go in there, kick that door down, and make sure you stay at that party. And it doesn't mean you're going to be there forever. It might be 6 months, it might be 10 months, it may be 5 years. Main thing is you've got to get in to be able to play. And then different doors open up for you. Quick story, we've got a grad from about a year and a half ago, that was a good student, had a good demo, kept applying for positions and kept falling short, couldn't land one. Finally, one opened up, was out in the Rockford area, and the facility was an older facility that didn't have the latest and greatest equipment. The general manager that ran the facility was actually taking a nap. I think he's about 75, 80 years old. This guy went there for his interview. He had to wake up the person he was going to interview with because he was taking a nap. I mean, so he's like, I don't know if I want to work there. I mean, it's not like the greatest place, and it's really old and old equipment. I'm like, you're in the game. You never know what's going to happen. Literally, 2 months later, he gets an offer from another position. Now, I don't know if one is because of the other, but to me, there's something special when you get that first job. And when you apply for the next job, you've got that on your resume. You don't have that black hole of, okay, I was a student here, and then I had nothing. He was a student here, he had nothing for a while, but then when he got that first opportunity, he wasn't there that long. So you just never know. You never know where things are going to take you, where opportunities are going to take you. You just have to be available to take that journey. As Eli said, and Ron had said the same thing. I mean, it's a journey that you take, and that's the cool thing about it. So when you come back here as a guest speaker in a year or 2 years or 5 years, you're going to have some cool stories to tell the next generation student here. We can all go on for a long time talking about where we started, things we did, people we met. But that's your own journey. You guys are going to have that fun. You're going to have that opportunity to take that run. And you may end up in Illinois your entire life. You may end up seeing 30 of the 50-some states that we have. I keep losing track. 50-something, every county district in Columbia, I'm not sure. But the point is, you just never know where the journey is going to take you. You just have to be open and have the ability to take advantage of it. Don't be afraid. With fear, it's kind of a funny thing. You can either you can be afraid and run away, or you can embrace it and not be afraid of that opportunity. You're going to rise above it and actually get something that's going to ultimately make you happy. Alexa's a perfect example. I mean, that's a big step. She didn't just move to Rockford. She literally, how long did it take, Mom? How long of a drive is it?
It's an 8-hour drive.
Yeah, so it's still close enough, still come back for family parties and things like that, but far enough to where you're on your own, and you've got a responsibility. With class, you don't feel good, you get sick, something happens, you don't show up. She's producing a newscast. I mean, that's about the biggest bite that you can take off that apple. And if Alexa can do it, all you guys can do it. And I know you all can, I know you all have the opportunity and you have the talent to do it, so just embrace it. And I'm always here to pep you guys up, or not, depending on where you're coming from. Some people think they're up here already and they pass on opportunities because they think they're much too good for that little job over here. I can do this job. And then usually it doesn't work out that way. So don't be afraid to succeed. And don't be afraid to take that journey. Because that's what I really got a kick out of. I like to hear back from you guys a year or 2 years later and tell me the places you've been, the things you've done, the people you've met. And that's a cool thing that broadcasting kind of opens up for people, is the ability to meet people along the way. And it's really a small community. You wouldn't think so, but there's people you run into and say, like, I remember working with you 5 years ago. As you get older and grayer and things like that happen, you'll be amazed at how many times you'll run into people that you have met before or have worked with before, like years ago. And that's kind of the fun. That's the cool thing. You don't get that working at a factory. You don't get that being an accountant or something like that. I mean, that's why you guys came here. You want to enjoy your career. And today it starts. School's over. Time to get a job. I got leads. Stop by the office on your way up. I got leads. All right. All right, guys. Again, you're going to do great. I know it. Just be positive. Okay. All right. We got some more things to hand out. One more thing. All right. The thing that we're all waiting here for. We'll have Tim come back on up here and help us out. Okay, so I'm going to announce the name. Come on up here, get your diploma. We'll take another picture again, and we'll continue that through until the staff goes down to nothing. So, okay, our first graduate, I'd like to please welcome up here is Sean King. TJ Oram.
You didn't get it short.
Okay.
Just seems a lot of way.
All right.
Karen Rodriguez.
Same thing.
Alexa Russo. All right, and our last grad from our July nights, Dane Shaney. Now we're going to move on to December days. August days, I'm sorry. Okay, do you want your homework? All right, Andre Quatley. Courtney Fish. And Jacqueline Velez. Yes. Oh, real quick note, all the photos that we've taken up here will be posted to our Facebook page at Illinois Center for Broadcasting, so you can feel free to download them and use them as you need to. You can also take some photos after our commencement is over, which officially it now is. So congratulations to everyone that was here. You're dismissed. And there's no sign-out sheet.